guys, it's April, and a couple weeks ago I went to a library book sale and I may have picked up way too many books. I think there's like 119 books and graphic novels and manga here that I want to haul for you guys. Now this book sale is put on by my local library. It benefits the local area. All of that goes back into the community, which is why I did not feel guilty about buying any of these books by any means. If you want to know more or if you want to see some of sales location, I highly recommend that you go over to Steph's channel at Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, because she did a book haul and she covered everything vlog style. So go over and check out her haul, but I am just going to attempt to go through the books that I managed to pick up. I'm not going to go into too much detail about each of these books because that's a lot of detail to get into, and you guys have probably got other things that you would like to accomplish today. So I'm just going to briefly show you what I picked up, maybe why I picked it up, and then we'll just get into it that way. And the first one I have is a arc of Through the Ever Night by Veronica Rossi. This is the sequel to Under the Never Skies, which I have read. I have somewhere in my boxes of books, so I figured I could pick up the next in the series because I have A Girl, a Ghost, and the Hollywood Hills by Elizabeth Zindel. This is simply because Ghost. I also picked up Fated, The Soul Seekers by Alison Noel. This looked really cool in souls and ghosts, and yes, I don't know why I'm going to explain any of these things. I'm probably just going to give you a I also found a copy of All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. I was so excited when I found this copy because it is in really nice condition. I'm excited to get into this one. I then have Lies, Knives, and Girls in Red Dresses by Ron. I'm gonna completely destroy that name. Corrigan. I'm sorry. But this looked like a modern twist on some fairy tale, so yes. Picked it up. The next couple books are by Kiersten White, and I've loved a couple of her other books, so I figured I'd pick up a few more, and that is Illusions of Fate and Supernaturally. I have read this book in e-format, figured why not pick up a physical copy. I'm also going to start putting these on the shelf so we can start filling these in and I don't feel so naked with this bookshelf behind me. And then I found a copy of Off the Pages by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. Book lover in me had to pick it up. I just did. I actually found a copy of The Shadow Cabinet by Maureen Johnson. I've read the rest of this series, so I wanted to pick this one up and read it as well because, well, I believe this is the last in the trilogy. Is it a trilogy? I don't know. Tell me down below. I think it's a trilogy. Pretty sure it's a trilogy. Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by I don't know who because it's covered up, which is not a good thing. April Guinevere I'm sorry, I butchered that. I have read stuff by her in the past, and I've seen this on so many other channels. Had to pick it up. Harmony House by Nick Shift. It's October. This cover just, it just screamed my name. And I just realized this is another Kiersten White book, and that is The Chaos of Stars. I don't know why I didn't group it with the other Kiersten Whites. Question is, where do we go from here? If you guys don't know this, I have a secret reading fetish with Heather Graham's work, so I picked up a whole bunch of her books as well, and they are The Evil Inside, A Perfect Obsession, Flawless, and Deadly Fate. Some of them I have already read before, but not in physical format, and now I have the physical format as well. I'm also trying to complete my Odd Thomas collection by Dean Koontz, and so I picked up Odd Hours and Odd Apocalypse. I also found this interesting compilation called Click. I won't lie, I mostly picked this up because of the cover. I don't really know much of what's going on the inside, but the cover. I really love going to these library book sales because I love picking up old books, usually fairy tale collections and old classics, and I found a lot this time around, so I'm really excited. I got another copy of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, this really pretty edition of Grimm's Fairy Tales. I also found Alice in Wonderland and Andersen Fairy Tales. And then this huge golden treasure chest of tales and legends, adventure stories, animal stories, and favorite classics. I also found this really cool Tolkien dictionary. I don't have the rest of the Lord of the Rings, but I would love to collect it in this format. I then picked up these myth and legends and stories of wonders as well. As per usual, I try to find as many of Mercedes Lackeys that I don't own as possible, and this time around I found at least 3 of them, and that is The Oathbound, Winds of Fate, and Joust. And then I found this interesting book, Cast in Silence by Michelle Saraga. I am really bad at names. And lastly, for the written story formats, I have Hauntings, the stories of unique spirits, because I'm me. So now I am going to shift over to the graphic format. I have a ton of manga and graphic novel that may have been my primary focus when I went to the sale this time around. So buckle in and get ready. I found 2 Neil Gaiman graphic novels of The Sandman, and that is Volume 5, The Sandman, A Game of You, and Volume 8, The Sandman, World's End. And luck was completely on my side when I went to the sale this time around, because I have been trying to get my hands on the classic Buffy comics. I've had the hardest time finding them for a decent price, and I found a good chunk of Season 8 at the sale. I think I have everything but Volume 6 and Volume 8. So I almost have a complete collection of Season 8, and I'm so stinking excited. I just want to find those last 2, and I'll probably binge all of this because I need this in my life, because Buffy. These next comics looked fairly interesting just because I really like Greek mythology, and they cover that topic fairly well, I believe. And that is Aphrodite, goddess of love, Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, and Ares, bringer of war. I've seen these graphic novels everywhere on BookTube, and I find them rather fascinating, so when I saw them, I grabbed them as soon as I could. And that is Maz 1 and 2. I have no idea what this one is, Alice in Sunderland and Entertainment, but I love Alice in Wonderland, and it had this weirdest format ever, so it went in my box. I also found Ghost, Simon's Cat, and Princess Mermaid. 12-year-old me is very excited. I nearly found a completed set of Fruits Basket. This is all of them that I managed to find. I think I'm only missing, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm missing 18, 19. I have 20 and I have 22, and then I just need the rest of the series at the end, and I will have a complete set. I also picked up Food Wars. I have volumes 1, 2, 3. I'm missing 4. I have 5. I'm missing 6 and 7. I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I also found volume 1 and volume 2 of Mungan Spiral. I do have volume 1 already that I picked up, I think, last year at the library book sale, but this copy seems to be in better condition, so I think I'm gonna swap them out. I also picked up another copy of Oran High Host Club because this copy is in such good condition, I had to. I picked up volume 1 of a whole bunch of different manga just because I wanted to try them out to see if I wanted to continue on in the series, because at the library book sale, they are really, really cheap. It didn't make sense not to try. So I have Good Luck, Kamasami Kiss, Black Butler, Ultramaniac, and ReZero. I also found volume 2 of Juni Ito's work. Shay recommended this series to me, and it intrigued me so much, so I was really excited when I found this copy there. I know it's not one, and I'm probably not starting from the beginning of something, but hey, at least I've started collecting his work. And that's all that matters at this point. And then I found 1 through 5 of Honey So Sweet. I mean, just how cute is that? I also picked up a couple of volumes of Vampire Knight, and that is volume 1, 2, 3, and 14. Got a big gap in between those. I picked up the first 2 volumes of Millennium Snow and 5 volumes of Alice in the Country of Hearts, followed by 5 volumes of Alice in the Country of Clover, but I'm missing volume 4. I apologize for the sun just creeping in, but this is the time that I had. Somehow I will try and make this work in editing. It'll be magical. But I picked up a couple of, what are these called? Recipe books. I picked up a couple of recipe books as well. I've got Asian Wraps, Rice Recipe Book, and Yum Yum Bento Box. Can you tell where my brain was at as I was finding these recipe books? So those are all of the books I managed to pick up at the local library book sale. This will probably be the last of the books I pick up for this year because I went a little bit crazy. It's for a good cause, and each of these were only about $1 to $1.50, so kind of justify it in my brain. And plus, it started me loading up these bookshelves because that really needs to be done. If you want to see me continue on filling out these bookshelves, subscribe down below because I will be trying to do weekly updates on how building my library is going. And I'm hoping to keep up with that. I've got a couple of readathons that are coming up, so things might get a little wonky, but subscribe and tell me down below if you have read any of these books and what your thoughts are. And I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.